Hey everybody, welcome back to the Old Sweets Farm. It's Rich. I want to tackle today the number one question we get. When are my hens gonna lay eggs? And that was the number one question we had. You know, you got them as chicks or hatched them out of eggs. You've fed them, you've watered them, you've protected them, you put them to bed at night, cleaned up after them. Hey, when am I gonna get some eggs? It's a very common question. And so when we start out, we didn't have a clue. We really didn't. And the girls don't have a clue either. They're getting bigger, they're running around, they're free ranging, they're everything, you know, living life, and all of a sudden one day they've got this urge, they squat down and boom, there's an egg on the ground. They just don't know what's going on, and we sure didn't either. So we wanted to give you a couple of tips, things to look for, and then a couple things to prepare for it. I will tell you, the first time, our first season with hens, I think they associated the eggs with us. And so that first week, we had several hens who came right up to our back door, and we had eggs that were laid right on our welcome mat or laid right near the welcome mat, and a couple on the stairs. It was pretty funny, pretty cute, but pretty funny. So, hey, two things to get ready for your hens laying. The first one is nutrition. You know, nutrition is really important for them laying. They go through a lot of energy, food, nutrition to produce those eggs for you. We switch them over at 16 weeks from their chick or starter feed to their layer feed. So, and that's just what we do. You might want to check with your feed store, check with the producer of your feed. But 16 weeks, we move them over. If we've got an extra bag of their chick feed, we start doing kind of a 50-50 mix and phase it out. When it's gone, it's gone. And then they're all on layer feed for the rest of their life. Keep a lot of water around. They do need that water to produce those eggs as well. The second thing that we do, if you watched our video on moving the girls over to our outside coop, one thing we did is the nesting boxes that look into the coop, I walled it off. I put a board across it and screwed it in place so the girls wouldn't be in there. When they're immature, I don't want them in there. They would sleep in there, they'd drop in there, they'd make a mess of it. I don't want that. So I want it to be fresh and new, and I want them to associate that with egg laying. So one of our girls last week actually laid an egg at 15 weeks. So that really prompted us to get moving. We took the board off then right away, cleaned out the coop, got it ready, and then took the board down. Now let me show you. I'm out here. Here's our the nesting box from the outside. It opens out. What we've done, put the four nesting boxes in there, put some straw in there, so they've got a little nest. Made that little nest for them, and we put ceramic eggs in there. Now the girls, the ceramic eggs, I put that in there just so they, that first time they might be laying an egg, and they see that egg down there, they know the feeling, and then they know the egg, they don't know where to go. So when they come in to roost at night, they see these eggs in the nesting boxes. Pretty darn quick, they put two and two together that this is where I need to be laying my eggs. So it works out really good. When we move them to the outside coop, now we got different nesting boxes there. We've got eggs in there. It doesn't take them long to adjust to the other nesting boxes. So give them their nesting boxes once they're of age. I put those ceramic eggs in there. Some people put golf balls in there. Whatever you want. You don't have to, but it sure helps them associate the boxes with laying eggs. All right, the first thing to do, there's four things to do, but the first thing to do to get ready for your girls laying eggs is do a little research. Research the breeds that you've got and when they start laying. You know, we've had everything from ones that are supposed to lay at 16 weeks all the way to our Buff Orpingtons that don't start till about 24 weeks. So there's quite a variance, and knowing when your girls are supposed to start laying sure helps. Now, take that with a grain of salt. We've got sapphire splashes that I've read, they're supposed to lay at 18 to 24 weeks. Well, this week is week 16, so that's why we've done all the work. But last week, 15 weeks in, a girl drops an egg, and she has been dropping fairly regularly ever since. So take your research with a grain of salt. You're gonna have to watch some of the other things I'm gonna talk about to see when your girls are ready. So number one, do some research. Let me do number 2 and 3, and then I'll come back, kind of summarize all this. Hopefully this will help you get ready for your girls. Well, the second thing we look at is their comb and their wattle. That's just an absolute surefire sign. Here's one of our sapphire splashes. Look at the size of the comb and the wattle and how red it is. She's ready to lay, and she might be laying. And then the one behind it, look at her and just how immature it looks. Very pale, you know, pink, hasn't developed. Just, it's night and day. You can tell just by their comb and wattle. You know, you're getting there, little lady. Here's another variety. Just getting a lot bigger. And then our neighbor, just not quite there. So that comb and wattle, surefire way. Number 2, the surefire way to check on if your girl's getting ready to lay. Now the third thing that happens when you come up, they will bow to you. It's a showing of submission. It's stimulating or simulating them accepting a rooster. So that's a surefire way. If you come up behind them or on top of them and they bow down, well, the first time at least, that's a surefire sign that they're ready to lay. All right, well, 3 sure things to look for. You know, do your research and make sure they're in that the time frame when they're going to lay. Make sure that they're comb and wattle, bright red, bigger. Make sure that they're bowing for you. That's a surefire sign. If you walk by and one just bows for you, they're ready to be laying. Watch for them. Just a couple of fourth things to be looking for is just a maturity level. You'll just see them physically much larger. They're standing taller. Their tail goes up. I notice when they're younger, their tail is out flat. When they're getting ready to lay and they're mature enough for that, you watch, their tail feathers are coming in and the tail is sticking up. They're looking like that little girl. Her tail's up, she's getting ready. They're squarer their wings are bigger and they're squarer in the shoulders. They're a little bigger in the back end where obviously they've got to be moving an egg through. They're eating more. They're eating a lot more. You'll notice them there. And you'll notice them, you know, with them bowing to you. They're not skittish teenagers anymore. They're fine being around you. They're calm. They'll let you pet them and touch them. They'll let you pick them up and put them in your lap. We spend the evening out when we're done weeding and watering, and we hang out with the girls. And you know the mature ones. They'll want to jump up in your lap. They don't mind being touched and held. So hopefully all this has helped you. It's the $1 million question. When are my girls going to lay? And it's the fun question. You've been working and working, and you're just waiting for that girl to lay. I know we've got one of them in there right now who just went to the box for, I think, the first time for this breed that we've got. So exciting day. You're going to get these tiny little eggs, and then within about a week, they're going to get bigger and they'll be medium. And then in about 2 weeks, for us, they've been full size. So it's just fun watching the girls mature. So hopefully this has helped answer this $1 million question. Everybody, thanks for watching. Always appreciate you viewing. And if you got questions, put them down below. We don't know everything, but we've been through it with 100 girls. So we know a little bit, or we've been through a lot of mistakes. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.